Oh, happy Friday. Happy Patriots Friday. What a performance last night taking down the Jets.
Yeah, when do you start? When it comes to wagering on them Super Bowl wise, I think I don't know what they are, Shime, plus a couple thousand. Maybe. Like, when do you feel like it's a good bet?
I don't. And look, like I know Patriots fans aren't going to like to hear, or don't want to hear that. And what I said on You Better You Bet yesterday, and it kind of like, I would encourage Patriots fans, and I'm not one, so if you want to tell me to F off, like I totally understand. I would kind of like enjoy the ride with this team here. I don't think it's going to end with an AFC championship or like a Super Bowl appearance or like winning the Super Bowl. And I'm not being a hater when I say that, just that I think when you get into January and like Drake May is awesome. And you guys know this. I've been saying since last year that this guy's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So I'm very pro Drake May. I said the day they hired Mike Vrabel, they were going to be the second best team in the division immediately. I didn't know that they were going to end up obviously winning the AFC East, which it looks like they're going to do. But I don't see the ultimate upside of this team, winning 3 games in January to get to the Super Bowl. And, I hope Patriots fans will hear this and like not get mad. I kind of think what's going to happen to them in January, to you guys in January, I think this is going to be the inverse of 2018, where, Patrick Mahomes, second year as a starter, wins MVP, hosts Championship Sunday, and lose to Tom Brady and the Patriots in that amazing AFC Championship game in overtime. I think we're going to get the inverse of that, where Kansas City will go into Gillette, Mays the hotshot second-year quarterback, and lose to the old guy Mahomes. And I think Kansas City, I would bet Kansas City against New England in January. And it's not a commentary on New England's future. Mm-hmm. The Patriots are going to be really, it's done. They are going to be really good for a long time. There is no argument against it other than if Drake May gets hurt. They are going to be good. The future is extraordinarily bright. I think they're way ahead of schedule right now. I don't see them as a Super Bowl team, but that doesn't mean that you can't really enjoy what's happening right now. That is my objective, honest opinion on the New England Patriots.
Well, some good games this weekend. Let's see where you stand.
That didn't make anybody mad? Everyone's cool with that?
I'm just shaking my head in silence.
Courtney's upset.
I'd like to ask him a question.
Go ahead, Dan.
I love that AFC Championship game, though. That is the best non-Super Bowl game I've ever seen.
Great. I disagree with that, but it was a great game.
So then, Nick, for you then, the only team that can do it is Kansas City.
Well, I think if we get to, and we're the Patriots are going to win the division, and they may be the 1 seed in the AFC playoffs. I guess, let me hit you guys with a couple, and we're going to find out. Patriots are going to play the Bills and they play the Ravens, when they come out of the bye week, and they should win. It's Cincy and the Giants.
Yeah,
so
but see, all you're doing is circling the parking lot now.
Well, I'm gonna get to the point.
Do you feel the same way if I said what about the Colts or
also,
Denver?
Wiggy telling somebody to get to the point is rich.
It's not get to the point, but
go ahead.
It's like anything. It's like when you're listening to a good rap song, within the first 10 seconds. So. Do you feel that?
So you're saying my song? Are you saying my song sucks?
No, I'm saying. Do you feel that?
I haven't even gotten to the hook yet.
Do you feel the same way about the Colts and the Denver Broncos?
Yes.
Okay, so then other than Kansas City, that in your opinion, no one could beat Kansas City coming out of the AFC.
Well, so here's what I'd say about the Colts. Really good team. I think the quarterback has obvious limitations, and it doesn't mean that he hasn't been great this year. Just who's taking the Colts to beat if they play, they play ball the Chiefs in January. I would take the Patriots probably. I trust Drake May more. Denver's Bo Nix is terrible. They're not winning 3 games in January. I'm always going to keep coming back to Kansas City, and maybe they don't even get there. I think they will. They should beat Denver this weekend. Who's beating them in January? Who's beating them? I do like the Patriots, Wiggy, better than the other 2 teams you mentioned. They're way better than Denver, even if the Broncos have a better regular season record and a better roster. I think that's true. Denver's roster 2 through 53 is better than the Patriots. But the Patriots have Drake May, and he's 100 times better than Bo Nix. And the Colts roster is definitely better than the Patriots roster, but Drake May's way better than Daniel Jones. So I think the Patriots are the best of those teams, just like I'm going to keep coming back to Kansas City here. Can they beat the Chiefs in January? I'm not saying it can happen. I'll pay to see it, though.
You bring up the old guys versus new guys when you're talking about 2018. An old guy you were tweeting about this week, Aaron Rodgers, you think that if the Steelers don't beat the Bengals and if he doesn't have a good game this weekend, then it's the end of the end, not the end of the beginning of the end?
You almost stuck the landing there on
I
what I
know.
thought was like an awesome line by me.
Yeah.
That rap song was bad. It started really well. Yeah, like the Bengals are maybe the worst defense in like the history of the league. Like one of the worst defenses we've ever seen. Aaron Rodgers on Sunday night, and I love Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not going to try and convince anyone to like him if they don't like him. A lot of people dislike him. I find him very entertaining. So I'm a Rodgers fan. I want him to do well. I bet the Steelers to make the playoffs. He looked old last week. And I think you guys will appreciate this as even though Brady didn't end his career with the Patriots, where that last season, it kind of like gradually happened where Brady doesn't want to get hit. And then they lose the wild card game to Dallas. And like the end for Peyton Manning was kind of like he wins the Super Bowl, right? But you can tell he doesn't have it anymore. It felt to me like Rodgers like fell off the cliff last Sunday night against the Chargers. He looked old. He doesn't want to get hit. He was terrible throwing the ball. So I think this is kind of like, if the Steelers are going to do anything this year and Rodgers is going to do anything, you better show up and show out against one of the worst defenses in the league. And Patriots fans, like, think about what the Jets offense looked like last night. They put 39 on the Bengals. So Aaron Rodgers better be able to do something. I think he will. If I had to bet the game, I'd bet the Steelers.
Is he married to an actual living, breathing woman?
I think we talked about this. You guys think the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
I'm not like in those streets to know. I would hope he's not lying, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's not.
No idea. Bucks at Bills.
So he's just trolling is the thought?
Yeah,
his teammates have even come out like been quoted like we've never even met her.
I think he's trolling all of us.
There's not even a single photo of him at like a dinner. Nothing even blurry.
And he said his favorite player is Manti Te'o.
Did he say that or no?
No, he didn't.
Curtis, a good line. That doesn't happen too often. That was a good line.
Thank you. It's my rap lyrics hit right off the top.
Bucks at Bills.
So can I ask you guys? You guys will be able to answer this question or at least give an opinion. Do you guys think Baker Mayfield's healthy from the game you watched last week?
No,
right? So he said last week, and I think I mentioned it with you guys on the show here, I was leaning towards Tampa. Like Baker was saying that he needed the bye week because the oblique injury prior to the bye like had sapped his ability to scramble. And he's obviously like awesome at that, right? Extending plays. It's one of the reasons why he was one of the MVP favorites earlier in the year. So I'm thinking, okay, like we're going to get like shake and bake. He's going to be running around. He's doing the gritty thing. And then literally 0 scrambles last week against the Patriots. So I think this is pretty problematic for Tampa. I don't even think Buffalo's very good. Like, I think their run defense stinks. The offense has limitations where they have no one that can get down the field and win. And, like, Allen's good enough that they'll make the play. Look, they could beat the Patriots when they play, obviously. Allen's really good. I just question Buffalo's ceiling. If you made me bet this game, I think I'd actually lay the Bills, only because I think Baker Mayfield's kind of relegated to, like, statue right now in the pocket, and that's not good for anybody. I would bet Buffalo if I had to bet the game.
Nick, when you look at this, I think for me the best game of the week is going to be the Seahawks headed to the Rams. I think the Rams are a very good football team. They're a team that could win it all this year. Where do you stand on that game?
So I bet the Rams on Monday. This opened Rams -2.5. Now we're sitting at 3. I think 3 is kind of the perfect number in the game. I think Rams by 3 is a really likely outcome in terms of betting. And like my handicap of the game, like we could talk about in all seriousness, like how much fun it is to have a Sean McVay offense going up against a Mike McDonald defense. Like these are the two right now, the two like whiz kid front runners in the NFL on each side of the ball coaching, right? McVay and Mike McDonald. There's a lot of fun stuff going on here. I'll actually dumb it down really low. We'll go lowest common denominator, low hanging fruit here. I'll pay to see Sam Darnold win a huge game on the road at Matthew Stafford. That's why I bet the Rams. I have 2.5 at 3. Probably no bet for me. I guess the Rams. I think Rams by 3 is a really likely outcome. I did bet the Rams.
Okay. I'm assuming based on what you said earlier, Chiefs, you're taking the Chiefs, Broncos, taking the Chiefs in that game?
I don't know if the Chiefs are going to cover in the game. So they're 3.5 or 4. And just so everyone, like to put it in perspective, Denver's 8-2, KC's 5-4. The Chiefs are the Super Bowl favorite at 5-4. They're at Denver, and Wiggy, you know this, right? Mm-hmm. Denver, because of the altitude, and the crowd's great, but because of the altitude, Denver has like maybe the best home field advantage in the league. And it's less like the crowd's the loudest, but the altitude like makes a difference. So if you flip home field here, right? So you take away, give Denver 2 points for home field, let's say. Kansas City's got a nice home field. The intimation here is that the Chiefs, if the Kansas City was hosting this game, Kansas City would be close to a 7-point favorite. And like, does everybody agree with that? Like, would you want to take the points with 8-2 Denver? And I'm not necessarily sure I would, because Bo Nix has really regressed. He was terrible against the Raiders, and I don't have a ton of faith in Bo Nix. Now, is the Broncos defense, even without Patrick Surtain, good enough to keep this within 3? It might be. I would be stunned, however, if the Broncos won this game. I'll be using Kansas City as a money line parlay piece. I am very confident the Chiefs will at least win this game on Sunday.
Do you have any like feel on the over-under? Because to me, it just screams an under game, knowing the Broncos defense and the way in which like I think it'll be close. But I'm curious your thoughts.
Yeah, I think let's see where we're at in the total.
It's
here.
currently 45 on BetMGM.
Okay. So Andy Reid off the bye is kind of like a pretty well-established thing, whether it's with the Eagles or with the Chiefs. He's a badass, right? His teams come out of the bye every year with new offensive wrinkles and like generally play really, really well. My sense is he spent this bye week looking at a Broncos defense minus Surtain. They're going to have their left tackle, Josh Simmons, back. Like, and this is going to be one of the first times all year that everyone's healthy on offense. Pacheco's probably not going to play, but like the receivers are all going to be there. I think Kansas City's going to score in this game, Shimon. It's just, can like Denver score to keep up? No opinion for me on the total. I guess maybe like a slight lean towards the under, but I could see it going over. No bet for me.
Last one for me, the NFL memo yesterday on their attempt to limit certain kinds of prop bets, for instance, those where that can be determinable by one person in one play, like a quarterback's first pass attempt or whatever. You like that on their part? And is it real, or is it just trying to throw something at the sharks that are concerned about sports wagering in general in sports?
I mean, probably the latter. I don't make a lot of those bets, so like it doesn't really like impact me at all. I certainly understand the thought process behind it. Look, as far like I bet props in the NFL based on, it's not fantasy football, but it's like a fantasy football way of thinking. Like this receiver in the slot against this slot cornerback with the way they defend. Do they run zone? Do they run man? What's the success rate? Like that's how I bet props. So honestly, Greg, like that kind of stuff doesn't even like enter my consciousness really to think about. So it doesn't bother me at all. I'm sure there are a lot of bettors who bet way more money than I do and like have a million places to bet it to try and get as much down as props as possible, who will be upset by this. I am not one of those people. I can't really give you like a super charged up answer to this question.
All right, Nick, have a fantastic weekend as always. Thank you.
You got it. Wishing everybody minimal sweats, winning bets. The absolute very best of luck. And
the host of,
best non Super Bowl ever is Vikings Saints 2009 NFC Championship game, Favre versus Breeze. The Favre interception to Tracy Porter.
Is that the one where the broadcaster goes, "This isn't the AFC, this is the Super Bowl"?
No, Paul Allen, who's been doing Vikings games on the radio forever, goes, "This isn't like October against the Lions. This is for a trip to the Super Bowl." Yeah, great line.
Great.
Right,
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. The host of You Better You Bet and an Odyssey Sports Betting Insider. That's Nick Kostos.